Yeah, I definitely heard. I heard stories that you can suddenly do that, but I had a very sad childhood. I didn't actually have a console until the PS1 was my first console. So when you start talking about those games, you just completely lose me.
Yeah, fair enough. I had friends who had Genesis. I had a Super Nintendo.
So you were the enemy, basically, is what you're saying.
Depending on who you asked. Honestly, the whole rivalry was more of a joke thing between kids rather than a full hardcore thing. Because we both were always kind of jealous that the other person had the other.
You obviously went to a much better school than I did, because we were just hardcore enemies in those days.
Oh, really? Nah, back when I was a kid, it was more of a... We kind of wish we had the other one, so we were willing to go to each other's houses to play the games and stuff.
Now, I kind of wonder about the scene, because, like, what part of, like, being a cyborg, like, he gets a new cyborg body, obviously, but he's just like, you know what, Doc? Just take out my whole fucking lower jaw. I don't need that. I don't need to talk. I'm fine.
We will get you in safely, Tavares. Just relax and enjoy the ride.
Yeah, again, super stealth fighter plane we could do something with. Oh, just send in the cyborg ninja.
And again, like, I'm not an engineer. Oh my god, look at that metal butt. It's glorious. Where was I? Oh yes, plane. Not an engineer, does not look very aerodynamic though, I gotta say.
Yeah, look at that guy's skullet. Who on earth ever thought that hairstyle was a good idea?
Where is it? Like, are we talking about Raiden or the bald guy here?
The bald guy here, the skullet.
The bald guy, well, he's bald. I mean, he doesn't have much choice.
But why let the back hair grow out longer? It just accentuates your baldness.
Because we have a saying here in Australia when someone has a mullet, we call it business at the front, party at the back.
What are you, Billy Ray Cyrus?
No, he belongs to you, and you're welcome to keep him.
Touche.
No activity at the airbase. Looks like we don't need to worry about interceptors.
Great. Then we have time for a quick briefing.
I know you miss me, Kev, but I've been all over the material.
Oh god, briefing scenes. I'm trying to make this interesting, but this part of the game is so freaking boring because it has, like, all he needs to say is go out there and kill the fuck out of people.
What's left of it anyway. The president and most of the cabinet.
And I wonder if the black guy is going to be the stereotypical black guy, where he says things in ways that make you think about black people.
The few leaders who have survived.
And he calls Raiden a jive turkey.
That's why they called us.
Because he's black.
Andrei Dolgov,
Exactly.
leader of the occupation forces, an extremist linked to both the St. Petersburg massacre of 2015 and last year's terror spree.
See, there's this whole backstory about this guy. It's like he's involved in massacres, he's an arms dealer, all that sort of thing. You don't get to see this man except one time later in the game where he blows himself up.
And it's like, who cares? It's a game. We're just send us on our mission and we'll do it.
Our more immediate problem.
Yeah, that's it. And like I said, it's like this whole briefing has no bearing on the game whatsoever.
The only problem I see is that nickname.
I've got my enhanced.
It's like you could just, like I said, just go out there and say, Raiden, just kill the fuck out of every person you come across. They're all bad people. They all strangle puppies just to get erections.
Ready for insertion.
They're all monsters. Don't even see them as humans.
Exactly.
Just like in a cybernetic eye, they just have a little button that they press that says replace all humans with evil alien creatures or something.
Press button to remove soul.
Pretty much. And just shoot Ryan like a torpedo.
Exactly. Because what other way are you going to extract him? Come on. Slow motion shockwave. And oh, that metal butt again. My god. And it's a good thing Raiden chose to wear his high heels today.
Well, at least like Samus in Smash 4, those actually serve a purpose. And it's a dude this time,
They
so
do
it's not
later on. We'll
sexist.
actually get to see that. It's not sexist when a dude wears high heels.
Well, don't you know how things go? Just look at the covers for Smash 4.
You landed safely, Doc. First, head
True, true. Looking forward to that. Now, hang on. This is a little curiosity here. There's a cat, and I just have to point this out because this cat is a ninja.
Badass ninja cat.
The cat cannot die. You cannot kill that cat. No matter how much you would want to. Why you would want to, I don't know, because I love cats. But
So
you
Snake
can't.
gets his Alaskan wolves, and then Ryan gets a cat.
Because he's less masculine than Snake. That's the whole thing.
True. Has to overcompensate by being a
Now
badass
we've got
cyborg
the new
ninja.
cyborg- Yeah, true. Now that we've got the new cyborg body for Raiden, we can actually carve people up and rip out their spines, like so.
Yeah, that was the part of the trailer, the first trailer. Everyone was kind of like, "Ooh, ah!" At when you just kind of went into slow mo and just
Yeah,
chopped
the
everyone to
part.
freaking pieces.
Yeah, and it was the only part that actually made it back into the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
This was our one trump card. Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, it's the main way that, well, it is the main way that Raiden regains his health, and unfortunately it does get a little, it's like really cool, but after a while, when you do it to like your 500th person, it does get a little bit tedious.
That's kind of the problem with all of these games, is that everything looks awesome the first couple times you do it, but by the time you get to the 50th enemy, you've used this combo on, it's kind of like, okay, cinematic, just end. Let's get a move on.
Yeah, well, the thing is that normally you can only rip out their spines after you've inflicted a certain amount of damage to them. But if you get a perfectly timed parry, you can do it right away. And so, granted, like if you play this game on high difficulties, it will just absolutely kick your ass. There's no question about that. But we're playing it on normal here, and it's actually fairly easy to get parries on a lot of enemies. So it kind of breaks the game. I'm not sure like if it was that well balanced. But again, you know, it had very short development cycles, so you can't really blame them too much either.
SOP troops by another name.
Game balance is something most developers really don't think too much about until the very end of actually making the game.
Desperado find these guys.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't really do it before that, can you?
They're like walking vending machines.
Well, yeah, but it's the only type of genre that they really think about it is MMOs. That or very
and fighting games.
Yeah, and fighting games.
That's it. They're still people.
But that for something like this,
Your
they wouldn't
beloved
really.
Smash
think
has
about
to be balanced.
it. No, Smash 4 is actually pretty balanced, all things considered so far.
I'm just the Reaper.
Yeah, but I've seen they're already bringing out tier lists for it. Apparently, I mean, I haven't been following it that closely because I want to see how it goes on Wii U when it comes out. But apparently, Samus and Mario are top tier in that game, from what I've heard.
It's way too early to be making legitimate tiers for it. This is just sort of a first impression sort of thing. Give it about a year and we'll know. We'll have a much better idea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the same with any kind of fighting game. You can't just go off the initial tiers because all the technology hasn't been found yet.
So basically, the convenient walls of barrierness.
Yes, the token like invisible walls of just cordoning off areas. I decided to skip all these little coded conversations here because they just slow the game down and really have no bearing on anything. They're basically there to mask loads, actually, if you're playing on the console version.
Yeah, developers, they'll do anything to try and hide load times.
Yeah, I mean it's not a bad idea because nobody really likes a load screen, but at the same time, it's not much more fun to just be stuck walking with Raiden when it's supposed to be a fast-paced action game.
Ooh, nasty. Now you've already chopped his head off. Why cut up the rest of the body?
I know. I like to have a thing where I try to just cut people straight down the frickin' middle.
Well, that's very
If at all
that's very
possible.
satisfying. Yes.
I know. It's just a little goal I set for myself.
See how many?
Can I just perfectly eviscerate this man?
Now, do you try and do it in vertical halves or horizontal halves?
Some civilians are still in the city.
That's I listen to my heart.
Ah, you're that kind of psychopath.
The best kind. And this part here is actually you're supposed to like stealth this part here because there's a hostage down on the ground there, but again,
You're
it
not
has no
Batman.
impact on the game whatsoever.
And you're not
I'm
Batman.
no, I am most certainly not Batman. Although, okay, quick question: who would win the fight between Raiden and Batman?
Batman, because he's Batman.
you gonna take that road?
No. Depends. Does Batman know Ryan's coming or not?
Yeah, I know. This is the thing about hypothetical fights: is you have to go into like the whole sort of like, do they have time to prepare? What tools can they bring? All that kind of crap.
Yeah, because if it's just sort of a sneak attack, then Ryan for sure. If it's Batman knows Ryan's coming. Probably Batman, because he could probably find a way to disable his cyborg enhancements.
Yeah. I was gonna say he'd probably just like fire some kind of dart at him, which would inject some malicious code into his suit and just completely reprogram it.
Yeah.
And then he'd be Butler riding.
Now they need to be Metal Gear Solid 2, Ryan. Why can I only do cartwheel flips and hang off of ledges?
Grabbing my crotch.
Yeah.
And getting peed on while I hang off the ledge. Now, this part of the game is not my shining moment because I really wanted to kill the gecko. I wanted to kill it so badly, and this guy kept interrupting me.
He's programmed with one of those annoyer sets.
Really, he was like, I got stunned. I'm trying to go for the gecko, and I got stunned again. And I was playing this part just shaking my head, really.
Yeah, I'm the type that always goes for the small fry first, so that doesn't happen when I'm fighting the big guys.
Yeah, I want to go for the big guy because you can actually get an instant kill off this guy as well. If you parry his charge, which you'll see later on, you can get an instant kill. And this guy dies in one hit as soon as I fucking kill the gecko. My god. There we go, down the middle.
So satisfying.
It is. That's what makes keeps this game going. It's the fact that it is repetitive combat, absolutely, but it's just still so freaking satisfying.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing with all of these style fighters as well as kind of the Dynasty Warrior series. It's naturally just kind of repetitive. It's naturally kind of basic. You can't do too much to differentiate yourself from other ones of the same kind of style, but it's very cathartic. You just feel cool and feel better for doing it.
Very good, Ryder. Now, keep
I haven't played Dynasty Warriors for a long time, but when I did play that game, I always found it worked a lot better if you actually just turn off the music and play the Matrix soundtrack instead.
Like when Neo's fighting all the Agent Smiths?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that exact part just had that on loop.
Nice. I'll have to try that sometime.
Yeah, it definitely works. I'm trying to think if I ever. Oh yeah, I did that as well with Left 4 Dead. Like when you get those surge parts where you have to like at the end of the mission where you just have to fight off wave after wave.
Oh yeah, horde rushes.
I would play the yeah, exactly, horde rushes. I would play the Aliens Futile Escape soundtrack, which is the part of the movie where they're escaping from the hive.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Drake, we are leaving.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen that movie though.
Oh god, I freaking love the hell. That's like Fight Club #1, Aliens #2 favorite movie.
Nice. Yeah, I've certainly seen the movie, but it's been a long time, so I can't quite remember.
And this part's actually amazing as well because watch this. I'm trying to get this guy with the rocket launcher. I'm trying really hard. He's down there. I go down. He goes up. I go up. He goes down. I've turned this game into a Benny Hill sketch.
Yeah, as long as you don't insert the music. That would just be
Believe me.
cliche.
And we don't do that. We're above that kind of thing.
Of course we are.
So when the gecko, when any part turns bright blue, it means you can just cut the crap out of it if you go into the Zangetsu mode. Like so.
Well, these guys were such a pain in 4. It feels good to just totally eviscerate them.
Absolutely, yeah. The whole, oh my god, like, do you remember like the whole furor that happened when they first like shown off like the whole pooping thing?
Yeah, that was kind of like, what?
Are they cows? What are they doing? I don't understand.
Ryder, wait. We're picking up a wireless transmission near your position.
Most likely, yeah, check it out. Let's check it out.
Check it out.
It's probably porn. Just go take a look. If it's any good, just send it back. We'll be fine.
Well, it's the internet, so roughly 90% of it is.
Oh god, when I was doing the Resident Evil 4 playthrough, my friend, we were talking about the goat's head that you had to pick up as part of the Chimera. And I made a goatsy joke, and he's like, "What's goatsy?" And I just said, like, you can look up on your phone, but you will regret it for the rest of your life.
You actually subjected someone to that.
I didn't subject it to it. I said he could do it if he wanted to.
That's
so it would be really
basic. You
self-inflicted.
know human curiosity. He's going to do it.
I'm gonna get a text some point in the next few days that just says, "You fucker."
Pretty much. You have ruined.
It's gonna
You have
have a lot
ruined
of
someone's
context
life.
for that. I got other ones.
Cutscene powers activate.
Japan powers activate. Oh my god, this is actually still very cool though. This is probably like this and the first boss fight with Ray are actually two of my favorite boss fights in this game, just because they're so freaking amazing. Because they have the whole dynamic music in the actual fights, that the music will ramp up and pick up different segments when you're actually getting to like the really exciting parts.
Yeah, I wish more games would do that. Dynamic music is a really big help to certain games. I can't really remember too many off the top of my head, but it's just one of those. If it's done right, it really makes memorable scenes all the more memorable.
Yeah, it definitely makes these fights absolutely. I heard that they actually got the soundtrack for this whole game, which I actually have. The soundtrack for this game is amazing if you're working on the gym, for the record. Just don't sing it out loud. It was all actually commissioned for this game.
A lot more games are kind of going that route, actually.
Which is a good thing, I think.
Generally, yeah, it lets you have a bit more variety with your artists. Some studios still have kind of their dedicated sound people, like Nintendo, Sega, Capcom, and all that, but it is nice to see a little bit more commission work being going around for certain games.
Yeah, now, here's the... I actually died during this fight, so... got kind of ragey about it. And we're back. I did actually die. It's been a while since I played this game, and I couldn't remember how to activate the little health packs you see me picking up there. You can actually put them into the inventory, like I'm doing now, and set them up so that they'll automatically kick in when you reach 0 health. Couldn't figure out how to do that in the first run.
Well, at least you figured it out in the second one.
Yeah, I've had some weird sex, like playing this game. The last time I played it through on my console, the scene with where you're actually from the second Rex fight where you're running down the building, I actually died several times on that, and I could not figure out why. So it's possible. It's like all I have to do is dodge missiles. It can't be this hard.
I do appreciate these games where you can actually die, because I have played a few not so good ones where it's basically impossible to die because you're just so overpowered the entire time.
Yeah, like what? Give me an example.
Devil May Cry 4 was kind of like that for a little bit. What other ones were there? I felt Bayonetta was like that at certain points too.
I've played Devil May Cry 4 through on Dante Must Die difficulty, and if you thought that game was repetitive just in the main campaign because you have to double back and do everything twice, it is ridiculous on Dante Must Die. You have to fight every boss in that game 4 times on that difficulty.
Yeah, but that game has the weird difficulty problem of, as I mentioned, you have the easier difficulties where you're just so overpowered that you're really never going to die no matter how kind of bad you are. And then it immediately ramps up to you're going to die a whole lot, and even if you're good at the game sort of thing. There's kind of no middle ground in that one.
Yeah, although I will say, like, I saw a video just very recently of a guy who did a run-through of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. Did you see that?
No, why?
Yeah, he did a run-through of Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2 on max difficulty, and not only did he complete the game on max difficulty, and that game is crazy hard on normal if you
Oh yeah,
actually
he did it
without getting hit once.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even. I shudder to think about the amount of time that someone would have to take perfecting their skills to be able to do that.
At that point, you could just become a real ninja.
They say it would have taken less time to become a real ninja. I'm convinced of that. Alright, so this is what we're talking about here. This is the one-hit kill.
This is for all the shit you gave me in 4.
That's it. This is for Metal Gear Solid 4, you giant shitting fuck.
You didn't make a lick of sense within the context of the game, and you don't make a lick of sense of context here.
See, he makes so little sense he's actually forcing you to become discombobulated.
Yeah, that or it's just me.
There we go, the music. Oh my god. Time to leave them all behind.
I will say it definitely fits this
You're kind of
the
stuck
tone
on a
of the
scoop
game.
loop there. Yeah, absolutely. This game by itself spawns so many memes, it's ridiculous. I mean, it jokes about memes when you're fighting Monsoon, and it created several of its own by itself.
Well, pretty much every Metal Gear game does that.
Also true.
And I'm just waiting to see what Metal Gear Solid 5 brings.
I don't know. I'll probably check it out, but I said David Hayter fanboy.
Yeah, I'll still enjoy the game.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna get Ground Zeroes at the same time as I get Phantom Pain.
I've played Ground Zeroes. Honestly, you could probably just go straight to Phantom Pain. You're really not missing much. It's basically just a tutorial mission.
What would an AI know about freedom?
Fair enough. Anyway, we've reached the end of this video, so thank you all for watching. I really appreciate having the help with this, and if you guys like it, if you just let us know. Who knows, if there's enough people, we might continue this. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad I could help you out with your new channel and all that, and hope all things go well.
Absolutely, and if you guys are actually looking at this on my channel and not the Brain Scratch comms, please head over to Brain Scratch comms and check out their stuff. They're completely amazing and have been doing a great job of helping me out too.
Thank you so much, and we will see you guys all next time if we do it next time.